Good day, instructional leaders at Marietta Valley Unified. This is Chris Shore, bringing you the Tesseract project. This is your introduction to our long-term plan for professional development of us, the leaders, as well as the teachers that we serve. Quick disclaimer on the name. Yes, Tesseract has a very specific math definition, but the things we'll be discussing traverse all content areas because we're going to be focusing on instructional strategies that apply to all content areas and the systems in the PLC structures. When I originally developed this project with some friends of mine, one of them was a middle school principal and a former math teacher, and he just wanted, because of that, he wanted a mathy name for this project. So I called up another friend of mine who's a math professor at the University of Arkansas and asked him for something that had potential for specific symbolism. I threw him some words out there and he threw back Tesseract, which is beautiful. And I'm going to share that symbolism with you, but I want to also say that even if you're not a mathematician, you've probably heard of Tesseract. In fact, you've probably heard about it in the movies. And so each of these components, as we go through the project, each of the activities, I'm going to start with the symbolism and how it's going to set us up for the particular component of the plan that we're going to build. And so the first symbol here, if you look at it, you see in the Marvel comics, there's this Tesseract that gives people tremendous power to influence the universe. And then also in A Wrinkle in Time, it had the power to actually pass through or go through wormholes and pass through time. That's how they actually did get through and did time travel, was through a Tesseract. So from these movies, we get this symbol, and that is the Tesseract offers us empowerment. So when we look at the things I'm going to set forth today for the overall project, what we're really looking for is to empower ourselves as leaders to influence change that has been unfortunately very stagnant. And so we're gonna move forward. We're gonna have the power to implement that change because we have the Tesseract. And so this project is based on 3 principles. I've discussed these with you before. I am going to go and discuss them again, this time in a little more detail. The first one that we have comes from Dr. William Schmidt, the University of Michigan. He was our American captain for the TIMSS report. And from that research, we see that students don't improve until teachers improve. And I think we all get this. There's no case of significant school improvement where the students just rallied in the parking lot and said, today, let's crush it. Let's just go on campus and do things differently we've done before, and the school improved. We're not a single case has that ever happened. What we see is the people that rallied in the parking lot were the teachers, and they decided to change their adult actions, and from that, the student learning improved. What we're also seeing from the research, especially from Dr. Kenneth Leithwood out of Canada there, is saying that there's not a single case study of radical school improvement, that is lacking a really strong leader. In other words, every time we see some significant change, it was because a leader stepped in. The teachers, yes, the teachers have to rally. They don't rally on their own. They need leadership. And the third principle is that every system is perfectly designed to get the results that it gets. And this comes from Dr. Deming, and he was the one that started total quality management that has, over the last several decades, transformed manufacturing across the globe. But when he first came out, the Americans, he was an American doing research in America, the American industries wouldn't listen to him. So the Japanese imported him, and he went over there and shared with him these principles, and it radically changed the automobile manufacturing industry, and the rest is history. Japan took the world by storm with their automobile manufacturing and creation. And it was because of the things they learned from Dr. Deming. So his point is that in a factory, if you have a factory that's made to build a car, you don't show up one morning and a unicycle pops out the other end, because the system wasn't designed to build a unicycle. So if you're getting a bad quality car, it's because the system was perfectly designed to create that bad quality car. So if you want a better quality car, you need to change the system. So in our system currently, we have approximately half the kids learning what they're supposed to be learning. If you look at the data across the board, I'm just averaging that out. We've got about half the kids that are successful. That means that we have a system that is perfectly designed for half the kids to learn and the other half not to learn. So if we want the other half to learn, we need to go in and change the system. So you notice on this whole slide, there's two words that are highlighted in blue, and that is leaders and systems, and that's what the Tesseract is all about. We're going to improve ourselves, and because we do have control over the systems, we're going to change those systems, and by that, we then change the teachers and thus improve student learning. These principles we're going to go back to over and over and over again. So that's why I took the time to share them with you here. Our agenda here is really brief. I'm just going to give you the overall purpose of Tesseract, what our roles will be, yours and mine, and the logistics of how this project will roll out. The first one is basic. The purpose of the Tesseract project is to radically improve the education at our schools through focused, customized professional development of our leadership. Notice it doesn't say kind of, sort of improve, a little bit of improvement, or, kind of inept improve. No, radically improve. We want to, a few years from now, look back at this day when we started this project and say, hey, from that point to here, wow, look how far we have come. How is that going to happen? Well, according to the principles, it starts with us. So we need to develop ourselves. And with that said, what are the roles then? How is this going to roll out? Well, your role is simply to lead, because that's who you are. You're a leader, an instructional leader. And so that's your role on your site. My role here is to frame the dialogue, to get us talking about what components of our leadership, yours as mine as well, and look at how we need to improve this. Frame the dialogue. What are the things we need to look at? I'm bringing from my side just a wealth of training and connections and networks, knowledge and materials on PLC development and structures. So I'm going to bring that. You're going to bring the knowledge of leading a school site and the dynamics of your culture and your specific site, the successes and the challenges that exist there. We're going to combine that and share ideas. So that's what our role here together in Tesseract is. You notice the brains merging. We're going to learn from each other and build the best possible systems that we can. So those are our roles. Yours is to lead, mine to frame the dialogue. And the logistics, we're going to run this through Haiku. So you see there the Power School Learning, and it's called the Tesseract Project. You'll notice on the left, each activity has its own page. These PowerPoint slides will be available there, as you see right here. On starting after this one, there'll be a card sort that will help you build the plan. There may be other documents available there. This video will be posted over here on the side. So what I'd like you to do right now is to pause this video and log in to Haiku and find that Tesseract project page. So do that now. And now you've done it, and we're back. So let's go and click on that first lesson, and you'll see that there is something, the 6-year plan template. And it is this blank spreadsheet. And you'll notice this is year 0, and it goes years 1 through 6. And the reason for 6 is that all the major radically improved schools, it all seems to be happening in 6 years. And then there's research to say it takes 6 to 7. Maggie McGough out of University of Louisville talks about instructional coaching and how the first 1 or 2 years is just getting things in place. 3 to 4 years, you see a little bit of growth. And it's the 5th and the 6th year, you see significant bumps. Adley Stevenson, Baldwin Park, San Lorenzo High School, all these schools that have done this work, it all seems to, the number that keeps coming back is they made it in that 6th year. So that's what you have here. What I'd like you to do is pause this video now, and from that page in Haiku, download this page. And now that you've done that and you're back, I want to say there is a spot up here for you to place your name, or actually your school's name. But if you want to do this for each administrator or instructional leader, you may do that. I designed it as such to put your school name there. You'll see that years 0 through 3 are on the front side, 4, 5, and 6 on the back side, and the ultimate goals also on the back side, or the second page, so to speak. So that's your 6-year plan template. You have that downloaded. You have the page in Haiku, and you'll notice over here on the left, these components all deal with PLC, and then these deal with instruction. And we're going to go through each one of these with a different video and a different activity, a similar activity, but each one we will go through one at a time, and you will be completing the 6-year plan for each of these components. And we'll progress on through that over the course of our meetings this year. The ultimate goal, of course, being at the end that we will have a 6-year plan at the end of year 0, which is this year, and then start it next fall. So that's it. Our overall purpose to radically improve our schools by improving ourselves and our systems. Our roles: you lead, I frame the dialogue, and we work together and build a phenomenal potential in our strategic plan and our logistics of the haiku and the spreadsheet for the 6-year plan. We're looking good at all three. So I would consider this first component a success. So your task is to go into haiku. If you haven't downloaded already, download that plan template and then go to the discussion board and answer the why question. Why Tesseract? What are you trying to get out of this besides the 6-year strategic plan? Help me understand your mental space. Once you put your statement in there, then you'll be able to read others. So yours will be public, just giving you the warning. But we can also learn from each other this way. It also is training you on how to use the discussion board in haiku. So do those two things and be ready to change the world one lesson at a time.